Hello, everyone. This is Daniel, and I was kind of disturbed at what I saw in CoacHELLa. Basically, there are, let's say, demons in CoacHELLa that are filling one of the stadiums, and from what I could see, there was only black, and there was just nothing left to fill. Really, there were just demons throughout the place, and I mean, that kind of concert, they're influencing people to dance and to cheer on and to be happy. And these demons. I mean, this is a form of witchcraft, actually. I mean, back in the 50s, there was something going on with demons, and later on became witchcraft. It was kind of a southern thing, so it's just not even fun to mention what I saw. Basically, these evil spirits, they really truly are everywhere. I mean, what else can I mention? I mean, it's CoacHELLa. I would say 83 people are actually attending on the show to do a live concert in front of everyone. That's 83 people. That includes Ariana Grande and a few other people. And not to mention that there's, I don't know, it's like, that's way too many evil spirits for one thing, but there's so many evil spirits that I could not even count them. And, there's hundreds of thousands in one of them, but there's hundreds of millions in another one of them. And that's quite a lot. So, the concerts and shows, it's also hundreds of millions, I believe. I don't know the facts, but, if you're wondering, why are there really so many evil spirits in the concert? Well, I've seen like thousands of evil spirits in an assisted living place where people are dying. Not quite literally, but they're there until they die. Some of them have Alzheimer's, and other people have physical problems. Not a fun place. And these demons are acting like vultures until the person dies and they take them with them, or take the people with the evil spirits. And there's thousands of them in there. And these people are not influenced enough by the evil spirits. They're just very rarely influenced by evil spirits. And I could even feel kind of a negative influence in some cases and have nightmares. And, sometimes jokes go in a tight, screwy way. I mean, they use a lot of good people to do weird things with jokes with certain people so that they can give them a bad name and bad rep. If that's just horrible nightmares, bad rep, and waiting until people die and take them with them and do horrible things with the elderly people and all that sort of strange stuff. If that's only hundreds of thousands, then think what hundreds of millions. No, if that's just like a multi-thousand evil spirits, and I even saw once an evil spirit running away from that place just because, of a good thing that I did. If that's the case, then how many evil spirits can there be to influence a person to do horrible things or have horrible nightmares? If that's only 100,000, if that's, I keep thinking 100, if that's a few thousand, but if that's only a few thousand. If then there's like 100 million, then there's something going wrong in that place. Like hundreds of millions we're talking about. If there's so many evil spirits in that place, I mean, so in there, of course, there's like as many people there as there are evil spirits in my place that where I work, which is assistant living and a kitchen. Now, that's just truly scary because an evil spirit, just one, has an ability to do horrible things to you. What if it's like hundreds of millions, which there is in a certain area in CoacHELLa? How about legion? Like legions in one area compared to a person. Think about it. Don't you think you would run? But people don't run because they don't see the evil spirits. Those evil spirits are like a black mist sometimes. But this, but these evil spirits, you know, they're quite literally, you know, it's completely black. And it's completely black with spirits, and I could barely see it because they're so powerful and influential. Like I can see just enough, but if I can barely see them, and if I can like, see a few of them in my room, but just in my room, I can just see a few of them. That's not too bad. But if it's so much that there's like a blackness, then there's something completely wrong in CoacHELLa. And obviously, it's been there for less than a decade or more. And I don't know. It's like there's a huge outlook, and I mean, people are reacting in many ways in CoacHELLa. I saw the people how they reacted in Just Dance, and let me tell you something. If people can have a party, then how about people having party? Let's just say that there's a party in Babylon. Nothing compared to CoacHELLa. Nothing compared to CoacHELLa. Just a party in Babylon, wine and drinks and all that. And that's upper. And basically, they're drinking, and then there's a sign being written by just a hand, and that's the hand of God with his finger writing on the wall, saying some sort of Hebrew word, saying time and a times and a time, half a time, and basically saying and that's all it's saying is your time is limited. Imagine something like that happening in CoacHELLa. Imagine the great amount of fear there will be in CoacHELLa. Let me tell you something. There will be nothing more than quite a freak out. That sounds the same as a cheer. And if anyone sees blackness because they think they're blind, well, they're wrong because they're only seeing demons in CoacHELLa. Because in one term I could see blackness, or another term I could see a huge mist of demons, a curtain of demons. It's so bad there. Quite honestly, it's just the most terrible thing you can ever imagine. And all that violent language that people are using, and all that type of dancing, it's gone way off hand. I can tell that we are getting close to the end of all times, Matter of fact, I believe we're in the end times. But still, CoacHELLa is just one example. All these demons are packing up and not literally packing up, but going in packs and literally going in one area or another. There's some in the woods, I can tell, and there's also there's some there are some in clumps. There might not be any in any area in the field or beautiful part of the world, but there might be some in like areas of humanity or in areas of death that is in the world, and they're not just any evil spirits in hell. There's a lot to guard hell, but that's their kingdom. But they go out and about on earth to deceive and to see that that there's quite an enormous amount of evil spirits in hell going out on earth, and especially going to CoacHELLa. I mean, if there are like I don't know, like I would say that CoacHELLa was all the place where people meet, all of the stars meet from all around the world. Okay, so there's like literally a quarter of the stars of all the world in CoacHELLa all at once, and at one time. That means that all the demons from these people and from these stars are influencing these people. So if that's 100, let's say that's a 400 million spirits in one room, one area. So let's just think about that. 400 million spirits, and there's a third of them that are evil spirits. So that's 33%. So let's just say there's 1% of all of spirits and all of angels, and that includes God. 1% of them. That's 3% of evil spirits in CoacHELLa. And I want you to think about that. Since there's 7 billion people in the world, and since there's like 3% of evil spirits, that's like 1/3. That's 3. So since like that's 1/3 of this, so that's 3% of evil spirits in the world. I mean, 1% times 3 is 3. It's, it's 3. 1 plus times 3. It's 1 times 3 is 1, but if you count it 3 times, that's 3. That's different math, from my opinion. So 3 times 1 is 3. It's obviously that. So let's just think about that. 3% of the evil spirits are in CoacHELLa. If that's 400 million, let's just say there's some other parts of CoacHELLa that's taken place. That's like 500 million. So let's take out, let's just do it times 33. 500 million times 33. So it's like 5, 10, 15. That's already 1.5 billion times 10, which is, 1.5, that's 1.5 times 10, that's 15 billion. Is that right? Yeah, there's 15 billion evil spirits. Well, 115 billion. Again, that's just my perspective of things. Because if it's times 33, 33, yes. I'm getting really here's fucking old. So it's 15 billion, so that's not enough. So that's 1% of the evil spirit, so that would be 500 million. That's 50 billion. That's still a small number compared to what I think. But still, there's a lot of angels, so that's 150 million angels. But what I'm seeing is there's a whole lot of really evil spirits in this world. A lot of them in some areas. I mean, for every human being today, let's say that's four in here. So if that's three, for every human being in the world, there's got to be at least 10 evil spirits in the world for every human being, and that's just saying a lot. I mean, there's some in regular house. I mean, there's a few in this house. They follow people around, and there's a lot of angels in this house. They follow people around. But the angels are most mainly in heaven and guarding the universe. And you know, right now there's three in my room, but these evil spirits are really overwhelming. Coachella, there's 500 million evil spirits in Coachella, and obviously for a legion, that's like 1,000. So that's 1,000 divided by that's 500 million like something divided by yeah. Let's divide 500 million by 1,000. So let's take out 5 and let's take out 1 and put it in 5. So that's less than 30. So 555. Yeah. Guys, that's quite literally 500,000 legions of spirits that are evil in Coachella. And there's also, I would say, 1,000,000 people in Coachella, and that's like half a legion for every person. And you know how these people are going wild. I think you should even read part of Matthew that's talking about a homeless person who is breaking chains and literally going crazy and doing horrible stuff. And they can't contain him, and he's going in people's graves, and he's going in basically cutting himself. That's a legion of demons. Half a legion is half capable of doing that. That's what CoachELLa is, and that's a scary thought, isn't it? That when you're going in CoachELLa, you're going in with the big boys and with the brutes that are capable of doing a good amount of damage to you. You might have demonic nightmares. You might have seducing nightmares. And these people, they dress up in bras that are clothing bras and revealing clothing. Some of them, not all of them, not most of them, but some of them. And they're just going wild in these stages. And the main guys, some of them are Satanists. The main guys I see basically doing the stage. Some of them kill animals just to turn into them, and spawn humans, get power, and get abilities to do more of their magic. Birds, rats, and cats. So basically, one way is a cat, just so they can become more powerful. And these guys are becoming seriously powerful to make CoachELLa a thing. That's why they had certain sound effects in the music just to gain their own power. They know what they're doing. And Another one is a rat. So there's like dead mouse. So that's just to spy on people. That's all. And birds to become more of a skilled in the witchcraft. So it's gonna be a real thing for another. It's gonna be another location in the world where it's gonna be instead of being called Coachella, it's gonna be I don't know. I don't know, like trying to think of a word. Perishua. That's the word. Perishua. Perish. Perishua. I'm just making up a word, and it's probably not going to be a thing, but if I just did, Perishua might be it. Instead of being called CoachELLa. So just remember, the 2020s is going to be a thing of the Coachellas. Another thing is it's going to drive the evil spirits to excuse me, dear, it's not agreeing with me, to quite literally make even more evil spirits out of wherever they can make it out of, instead of having all that. I mean, there's going to be people basically possessed with any spirit that they can get. And I'm going to tell you that there's going to be conspiracy theories, and liberal media is going to be a flaw of the thing. It's going to be mainly conservative in the 2030s, and really liberal in the 2020s. So really conservative in the 2030s. It's going to be conspiracy theories and all kinds of weird stuff. And then we'll see what's going to happen. But then, if that doesn't happen, then I don't know what's going to happen, except the end of the world. Because obviously the devil plans on making it liberal in the 2020s and conservative in the 2030s. You know? Also note, that CoachELLa is just the beginning of this. And we'll see what's going to happen next. Well, anyway. Just study what's going on. If you have a discernment of spirits, evil spirits, and you know what people are thinking, well, I sometimes know what the people are thinking when they just, it's like God tells me, okay, this person is thinking this, so don't do anything like that right now if you don't want to get in trouble. Not just a discernment, not just a discernment, but really discernment people's thoughts. Because God gives me that kind of thought. That's not me. That's God telling me that's what the person's thinking, and He's also warning me what's going to happen next. He hasn't done that yet, but discernment of anything is going to be a real thing of me. So, because I see these evil spirits, it's just a matter of time before I need to protect myself. So, if you have discernment of spirits, just look at it and look at my perspective. If you have a perspective, if you don't, just count in how many there are there. If you have something else, just see how many evil spirits there are. Because it's filled to the brim with evil spirits. I mean, these evil spirits are staying away from people because they know that someone might be a Christian there, and they don't want to taint what is going on in CoachELLa. But they know they're influencing people, so they're just saying negative energy to these people. So what people call positive is really negative and pretty much proud. Anyway, I think I'll be done now, okay? Bye.